Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Woo! Hey, y'all. Welcome. It's me, Tamara. And my R&B singer homie, Ivan. Shout out. Yeah, shout out. Yes. So, wait, y'all, go, if you're just listening, you have to go to YouTube. And this ain't just because I want my YouTube channel to grow. That ain't got nothing to do with why I'm saying it. This man, Ivan, I don't, this ain't his first time on the platform. Shout out, thank you for coming back through. He was one of the karaoke contestants during the West Side Connection karaoke battle. Shout out to Baylor. Shout out to Chris, of course.
Baylor lucked out.
Yeah.
Shout to him now.
Yeah. So, I think you got to turn your mic up, though. You just sound like real low.
Oh, that's my R&B voice. Let me use my regular voice then. My R&B voice something different.
This man. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome. Go to YouTube though, y'all, because this man, you just got to see what he is wearing and what he's not wearing. Like you gotta go see all that. And that's all I'm
here for. Yeah, it's for the whole experience. You guys doing what your ears, do what your eyes do.
Yeah. He creates vibes, and I see, you know what I'm saying, what he's on. Absolutely. And yeah, so I mean, and when you have celebrities grace the platform, you know what I'm saying? Yes, don't even. I know you didn't think I was gonna have you on here, and I wasn't gonna. I know you didn't think that.
You go with the nonsense.
Yeah, okay. I'll let y'all decide. Y'all tweet at me and let me know if you would feel that this person is a celebrity. Now, let's get some qualifying information, y'all, because you all know that I have receipts, that I don't just talk out the side of my neck when I say stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming with something sound. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the definition of the word famous, you feel me? Yes, is having a widespread reputation, usually of a favorable nature, or informal. That don't make sense. Okay, so now, renowned. Let's see what renowned is. Celebrated, famous. I hate when dictionary words use the word that you're trying to look up to. But I got something else for y'all. So well known, right? And I would say, and I actually still have this tweet bookmarked because I know that I'm going to need this throughout the duration of knowing young Ivan, because he is younger than me. So I would say that 12.8 thousand people is a lot of people, right?
Where you get 12.8 thousand people?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
I think I know where you're going. That
No,
ain't nothing to
let's
do with
go
me
ahead.
though.
Let's go ahead. It doesn't matter. You're a part of your Ivan is from Views from the Seven, y'all. So
Yes,
usually
indeed.
I've mentioned that podcast on here several times. Shout out to Spence and Skinny and really Shayna too, because
Absolutely.
she is definitely the fourth, the female or woman, because some people don't like to be called female. She is
Yeah, look at
definitely
me.
Mrs. Views. Fun fact,
Yes.
y'all, though, before I knew who she was, so I used to think she was View's manager. And I've told her this because she would always retweet stuff. So I thought she was like one of y'all. I didn't know she was, shout out to Wifey. I didn't know she was Wifey. I thought she was the manager.
That's crazy.
Okay, yes, guys. So Exhibit A. This tweet, this views from the seven tweet, is
Mm,
12.8K views.
mm.
Now, regardless of how we arrived here, which I do not at all agree with how we arrived at this place of Spence's take on
Right.
that. However, there's you, there's Shayna, shout out to Wifey, there's Skinny. All y'all is in this tweet that 12.8K thousand people have seen. So that, y'all, hold on. Also, Views has had 2 live shows, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the dope thing about that is the first one that was in December, right?
December, yes, December 4th.
Okay. So December was the first one, sold out before like there you couldn't if you didn't get your tickets ahead of time, you just were out of luck. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And then less than 6 months later, y'all just had another live show in April. Bigger and better, meaning a larger venue with more tickets available, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So when did y'all sell that one out? Wasn't it like before the other
Uh,
one had,
so the first show sold out with 3 weeks to spare, like three
uh
weeks before the show.
huh, uh
This
huh.
last one sold out 4 weeks before the show.
Oh, okay. So now that you're more famous or well known or renowned, people are trying to get tickets quicker. More people. People came from out of town too, huh?
A few, okay, like a handful. Yeah, they came from out of town.
Yeah. Because I know Baylor came from Cali, and
Okay.
it's crazy because I'm behind on his show, and I just listened to an episode in like February. This man had his tickets in February, or probably had them as soon as y'all announced it. It sounded like that's what he said on the episode because he was telling people that he was going to be coming to your show, and this
Yeah.
episode was from February. So that's all I'm saying is like, you know, to me that, that just seems
No.
like. Also, y'all, and don't make me go to IG and share that um
Wait, what's on
that
IG?
TMZ that I think Spence posted
Oh,
again,
that's crazy.
Ivan on TV, right? You know what, y'all, because y'all know I'm gonna have receipts. Like I don't just be
That's
talking
crazy.
and don't play with me. Don't play with me. That's the beautiful thing about. See, this is why y'all gotta watch. Y'all gotta watch on YouTube because then you could see. Because the great thing about where is it? I feel like Ivan. I mean, not Ivan. I feel like yes, he shared it. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's share a different screen. Stop sharing this. Okay, now let's share Instagram. Because I want y'all to hear what TMZ, I know all y'all done heard of TMZ. Because if you haven't, I don't even know what to tell you. Now, the thing about this, it's not so much just that Ivan was on there, but it's the response of the celebrity hosts, basically, of TMZ response to Ivan in just the fact that he was on there. Come on.
and the email
You can hear that?
exchanges and all, they were pissed off.
Okay.
I mean, they were really pissed off when they heard that it was a minor thing. It was just once and everything else. They knew it was a very different story.
Think about it. If you have a vicious dog in the office here and I'm getting bit every day as I
Nobody
go to
cares
get
about
a
him.
donut from the office, I'm going to be mad at you. You're not giving me a safe place to work. So
How did you work? He worked donuts into that. He just said,
y'all see it says TMZ at the bottom. This ain't made up.
we don't have donuts because everyone's like, oh, that's probably a fun place to work. We don't have donuts, guys, and we should.
Oh my
Come on
God.
now.
No, you know what we're going to get you? We're going to get you vegetables.
Don't nobody care about this.
This is Ivan from North Las Vegas, Nevada. They always try to make Biden like black adjacent because of like Obama, because of Kamala Harris. But we all know a black dog wouldn't get 8 times to bite somebody. After 2, they're going to take the dog from you and they're going to write your ticket. So my message to President Joe Biden is, if your dog gets to bite 8 times, you get to keep him, then you ain't black.
Now, y'all listen to this.
No idea what to make. That was a take I did not see coming. I loved it, though. I have no idea what to make of that. Yeah, he's got some facts. We're going to move
Some
on.
facts.
To
Because they were so distraught. You feel me? They didn't even know what to make of. So he done stumped TMZ, y'all. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the platform Ivan. Yes, thank you.
little old nobody.
Oh man, it's so funny though, because I mean, ultimately I've been a fan of the show since whenever I found it. So maybe coming up on about 2 years ago, I started listening to y'all because that's probably when I was more active on Twitter.
Okay.
So I've been a fan of the show. It's one of the ones heavy in my rotation. If I get behind on my podcast, which is happening a lot lately, I will usually make sure I listen to y'all when I listen to someone's retweet, have seen the show, kind of just, it's been the same as far as y'all be having guests, or sometimes I love the episodes when it's just y'all had a topic, maybe, I don't know, but that ain't what happens. But then, I've seen different hosts, and then now we have Wifey on there, and we have y'all doing live shows, even though I try to catch YouTube be hating, you know what I'm saying? Because you definitely got to see their facial expressions when they say stuff, when they whatever. So definitely have been a fan of the show. It's really dope seeing y'all, you know what I'm saying, grow and do different things with live shows. And so when I try to give him his flowers, though, it's like he throws them in the trash. I don't understand.
That's crazy. Why would you say that?
I mean, you see people be crying about give people their flowers while they're alive, and I try to give the flowers, and I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't know. Is that just me? I guess I'm not good at receiving compliments. I never have been. I think it's just like a me thing. Like a lot of times, I just don't believe it. So it's like it's not a knock on you. I don't believe what you say. So it's hard to accept it.
I don't take it personally. I mean, but let's tap into that. Let's welcome to Dr. Tamra's session. I guess this is what we're gonna do. Why don't you believe it? Because you are someone who, all jokes aside, like very encouraging. You'll have encouraging tweets that are not just some bull. Like, I think the most recent one I remember was about grinding or working towards your goals or whatever. You'll post stuff on IG, even on the show. One of the most memorable episodes I remember was, I don't remember what Spence was going through, but I just remember you got really upset at not like, y'all hear me out, not upset like they beefing, but just like something about like him. I'm trying to remember. It has something to do with his feelings and his emotions and him not tapping into it or something. And I feel like you started crying or it was something like that. I will have to. I don't have receipts for that, y'all. I'm sorry because I didn't even think we was gonna be talking about this. So you're definitely somebody who encourages others. So then, how don't you believe it for yourself?
I don't know, and I wish I really do wish I had an answer for that. I just don't. Like I can genuinely feel something and be proud. Like if I do something, I won't feel like it's anything special. I won't feel any kind of way about it. But if I see you do something, the same thing or something similar, I'm like, that's dope. So I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I've never been able to just receive compliments. I don't know if it's a self-esteem issue, which I don't think I have, but maybe subconsciously I do. I don't know what it is, but I've never been good at receiving compliments. Like, it never has anything to do with the person that's telling me the compliment. It's always just I don't believe. I don't know good things, positive things about myself. I don't know what it is.
So you think you're trash, or
I'm cool. I'm alright. I mean, I have moments, I have pockets where I really get into my bag, and I'm like, yeah, I'm that nigga or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, I just be like, I don't believe it for me, but I believe it for you wholeheartedly.
And I've never, let me just clarify, I've never taken it as you're saying, oh, like, I don't even take it like that at all.
Yeah,
It's really, I'm kind of I mean, you already know that. So
yeah,
I'm going to, but also the timeline is the gift that keeps on giving. Like, I really don't be trying to do anything. I promise you, I just be scrolling on Twitter and I just see stuff that really confirms what I've already said. And then I have this special gift just for you and Spids. Skinny don't be on Twitter like that. That's why I don't harass him. But it's just for y'all. Excuse me. And you already know when I use that gift, you already know what it is because I'm just
definitely
saying,
not.
yep, I told you, let me
Nah,
sip my tea. Um,
that's crazy. That's crazy. No, Spence is famous, and Skinny is famous. He's definitely, especially on a local level, he's a hood hero. Me, I'm just the third wheel.
haven't you, don't do that. Don't do that. Haven't you been
Yeah,
there from the beginning?
absolutely, yes, ma'am.
So how was there, because I've seen a shift in hosts since I started listening. So y'all have four, and now you have four again, but it's wifey. So for a little while, it went from 4 to 3. There's no views. Like what? How do like you can't separate yourself from the rest of the group? This is so. But
We
now that
can.
you
We always compare ourselves to Destiny's Child. So I'm Michelle. There's Beyonce, there's Kelly, and then there's Michelle. I'm Michelle.
whatever.
Look, ad lib here and there. I dance in the background. I'll let the stars be the stars.
but for the listeners, you add value. So I don't know what it's like on the local scene because I'm not in Vegas. So if you say, I mean, I know Skinny does a lot with music and all that stuff because I
Yes,
follow
it
him
does.
on IG and I see different stuff he'll post. So I don't know what it's like on the local side of things, but from an outsider, just the show, listening to the show,
Okay.
I can't. It's all of y'all. Skinny be having like his jokes are. I feel like what's the word I'm looking for? Underrated because I know he's serious. He's not at all like trying to be funny. And sometimes you might not hear it because he's like that still small voice asking the hilarious questions while everybody else is loud and laughing and whatever. So you can't I as a listener, you can't like not you can't separate it. It's all three y'all. I don't see it as a Destiny's Child because each of y'all be in y'all bag at different points,
I
different
agree.
whatever within one episode. So it's not like you're ever really just sitting there not saying nothing. I don't think I've ever had an episode like that where you was just quiet the whole episode and I was like, dang, where Ivan go? So that's why I say what I say. But it's gonna be what I'm gonna say regardless. I just had to I had to start there because I'm like, I know he don't think. I mean, I feel like you knew what it was. I feel like you knew when you
Absolutely.
came on here how it's gonna be, whatever.
Absolutely.
But how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I didn't really do too much this weekend. We actually recorded an episode with of another podcaster. He was in town this weekend. He wanted to just hang out, but we ended up recording another episode with him. So and then afterwards, Spence, his wife, and I, we went and hung out for a little bit. So that was pretty much my weekend. I didn't do too much.
Okay, bonus episode, or y'all still, or that's gonna be an episode for the week.
It's a bonus. So the YouTube is already up. I don't think we released the audio yet. If they did, they didn't tell me. I don't think the audio's out yet.
I don't remember seeing a tweet for that, so I'm probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, because sometimes the studio has issues with the video, so sometimes we go live and it uploads immediately, but most times we have to wait. So I guess this time, unbeknownst to me, it went live, so the video is already up.
Oh, okay. So y'all, and I see on your YouTube channel, y'all do like a lot of even reaction videos to like y'all do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like it's beyond just podcasting. Not to say just because I know podcast is a lot of work as a podcaster,
Absolutely.
but I didn't realize how many different types of YouTube things you guys started doing until I'll go to your channel. I be trying on every Wednesday, to like see if the live will work, and just be hating. And so then I'll just see, oh, they uploaded this video 10 hours ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And so with that, and then even with like the tweet that 12.8 thousand people, that it just kept coming through the timeline, like so many quote tweets, so many comments, whatever. And then sometimes you guys have shared some of the YouTube slander. I feel like people say the wildest stuff on YouTube. Like, so you guys have been doing this going on 4 years?
We've been doing the podcast about like 4 some change.
Oh, so already 4. Okay.
Yeah, but the YouTube thing we've been doing for like a little over 2 years.
Okay. So how weird of an adjust? Like, how did you get to the point to where y'all could just laugh at? Because I'm sorry, some of them comments, I'd be like, damn. Like, I'm mad for y'all because I'm like, y'all don't even know them. Like, what is wrong with y'all? And I know the internet can be,
oh my gosh. So having been on social media really to me since inception. So I was on Black Planet early. So
okay.
I've been through all the social media, and YouTube is it's a different beast, right? Like I thought people were like you have to have a big skin to be on Twitter, but YouTube, my God, and they hate us. They legit hate us, and it's like we don't even know y'all. And the thing is, we review music, right? We're not talking about the artist. We'll be like, we don't like the song, and because we don't like a particular song, they hate us. I got called a racist. Like, how am I? I'm black. How am I a racist?
The one I seen that y'all shared was like a Nicki Minaj reaction video, and like y'all don't pay y'all bills apparently. Just like,
oh my God. If it's anybody whose music I do not want to review again, it's Nicki Minaj. Anybody else's I'm cool with, but like her fans are different.
They went in. So would you say you're used to that type of slander, or
absolutely?
Okay.
At this point, you know it's coming. Like, all right, I know what the comments is gonna be like, and so like at certain points, I'll like set aside like time. Like I know I'm gonna be in the comments today. Like so, I'll set that time aside, so I know I can be in and I can really engage. I'm gonna talk shit back. Like I go to your YouTube page and check you out. Like, oh, okay, you trying to tell us how to YouTube, motherfucker? You got 6 videos in 10 years. Like, all right, that makes sense.
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah. Speaking of Twitter, so I pulled up a bunch of tweets. None of your tweets.
Okay.
I know. I had a couple of yours at first, but I was like, I'm not gonna do the I have a tweet segment on his tweets. I found a bunch of random tweets
Okay.
because in case y'all can't tell, this isn't whatever happens in this episode.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of Twitter, we'll start with that because this is normally I don't even really care about celebrity stuff, but since we're gonna do this segment. So you retweeted this is how I saw this tweet from Elon Musk. If everybody is unaware and you gotta be under a rock, because I've even seen people on Facebook talking about this, but Elon Musk bought Twitter, so apparently he owns it. I don't know what that means for Twitter at this point. I've seen some of his tweets have him saying, he has an issue with there not being free speech on a social platform like Twitter, which is why he bought it. And he said, next I'm buying Coca-Cola to put the cocaine back in. He's been so petty, and I kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like it. But I've seen where some people are saying they're leaving Twitter now that he bought it. And first of all, I'm like, where are you going to go? Because
nowhere.
Like, what app compares to Twitter? But in general, what are your thoughts on him buying Twitter? Because everybody seems to have such, I don't know.
I like it. Hopefully he implements the edit button because I'm tired of deleting tweets. That's the first thing I want him to do. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Like, shit, that's his money. The thing that was funny to me about the whole conversation was people saying, well, you could have ended world hunger for $20 billion. Like, who came up with that figure? Like, is there some spreadsheet where you have a calculator that with $20 billion you can end homelessness or world hunger? Because I don't know where that arbitrary number came from.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he's not obligated to do anything with this money. He could have burned it if he wanted to, but him, because he bought the company. I don't think he takes hold of it for some months, but he's taking it private. Like, it's no longer going to be a public entity, so he can do what he wants to do with it. And I think the thing that I saw people talking about the most was the fear of, like, maybe he'll let Trump back on. But like, shit, Twitter was jumping when Trump was on there. You can say how you want to feel about Trump, but Twitter was jumping, the news was jumping. Like, I was actually listening to the other day, and they were like, since Trump got out of the White House, people don't really watch the news like that no more. Like news was newsing when Trump was in there. So let him back on. I like it. Fuck it.
So I'll give you this with the edit button. Now, I said I wasn't going to, and then I did, only because you can upload longer videos, and some of my company videos. Yeah, like some of my company videos are longer than the 220 or whatever, and I'm one of those people that I want to be where the people are, so I don't want to upload a TikTok and say go to this other app to watch my company video, because people are not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so because I understand that about people, some of them, if I'm really trying to teach you about professionalism or whatever to, establish a solid foundation for your company, I don't want to be limited and feel like I got to rush through some. Now, do I have 10-minute videos? No. But if I want to have 2 minutes and 45 seconds, then that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so because of that, I did finally just last month go ahead Twitter Blue. And I will tell you that undo edit button, my tweet like typos has gone down probably like 97%, because you can set it up to where whatever time frame. So I have it on like 20 seconds right now, because a minute, at first I had it on a minute, and that was too long and annoying, where it'll sit there taking 20 seconds to upload, and it'll show you what you tweeted so that you can undo it and fix it. And yeah. And then I also on the app on my phone. Like my app is not a regular Twitter Blue app, so you can choose personalized like colors for the icon on your phone. And then on the home, the little ribbon that be at the bottom where it'll be like whatever, I have that personalized to what I want at the bottom, how I want it, whatever. But really the edit button and the longer videos, I don't really too. It's kind of cool that you can make a bookmark folder when you bookmark tweets, because I do the I saw a tweet segment, so I could put them all. Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, it's a lot
So
over there.
so there's a lot of, and there's other features that I don't use or care about, but I mean that edit button, but that just shows now what you can't do is you can't, once a tweet is tweeted, it's up there. And I get it, that I understand why they have it like that, because Twitter is supposed to be fleeting thoughts, and
Right.
you have people that want to clout chase, and like if somebody dies, I've seen where people go as far as to use some third party app to edit a tweet to make it seem like they predicted whatever along to, I've like, people are stupid.
That's wild.
I'm trying to think about who it was that died that I saw that. Somebody within the and like, was it Kobe? I don't know. It was somebody since he died. It may not have been his death, but somebody since his death that was like a big death that I saw that. So like, I kind of feel them on why they won't let you go back and edit a tweet. Y'all gotta go to YouTube. Y'all gotta, if you not, you gotta go see my point of view during this episode. But yeah, so like I feel them on that, but so I like the undo, because you can edit it before it gets out, but then once it's up there, it's up there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
is it, so in your opinion, is it worth the $3 a month?
For what I want it for, man, honestly, just off the strength of longer videos. For me, for what I do, it's longer, because even Penrose and my friend Lindsey and I, we have our little poetry collective, and we upload once a week a poem from one of us. And so I don't want to tell them, oh, you can only make it 2 minutes and 20. You know what I'm saying? Because of Twitter. Yeah. So if it goes a little over, I need that. So for me, because I upload at least 2 videos a week that may be longer than the 220, depending on whatever, it's worth it for me. Plus the edit button. Oh yeah, because man, iPhone be hating. Like they be like saying some dumb. I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Or
absolutely,
I'm moving too fast. And if I just put it out there, I've had to go back and delete some stuff because I'm like, oh no, I didn't want that out there. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's worth it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've only paid 1 month, so we'll see how I feel when they come back around.
6 months in, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That little $2.99, because you know how with like Apple, when they come with the, I don't know if you have Apple Music, but whenever they come take their money, it's annoying because it's like, why? Like, why? Where did you come from? I might have needed that 1604 Apple.
And it's always at the most inconvenient time too, because you like, okay, I got X amount of dollars on it, and like Apple be like, nah, hold on. Get that about you.
Yep. Yeah. And then my kids, because like even though they're technically all adults now, but my kids are all on.
I have another one.
Hell no. My youngest graduates on Sunday, on Mother's Day. Yeah. And I know, and it's crazy because it's also my oldest. I mean, yeah, my middle child, but my oldest daughter's 20th birthday, which that's a big deal for her to no longer be a teenager. Birthdays are a big deal to her every year, but you know, this is a special one. And so just family's coming in town. It's going to be a great weekend. But as I think about that, I'm redefining what it looks like on trying to date and like ages of kids, because I have the freedom to just, you know what I'm saying? I could go out of town by myself and I ain't, my kids are, you know what I'm saying? I told my kids, I'm gonna start traveling more now that y'all ain't coming. We'll do family stuff, but every time I leave the state, you're not gonna be coming, and don't worry about where I'm going, what I'm doing, and you know what I'm saying? So
Oh, you trying to get some out of town penis? Okay, I ain't mad
I
at it. Okay, I am not mad at it.
that's the conclusion you came to out of all that I just said.
Yeah.
Okay. That is
Vacation
okay.
booty.
Okay.
Ain't mad at it.
That's funny. But yeah, so I ain't having no more kids. Hell no.
What? Why not? Don't act like you don't miss the feeling of having somebody jizz inside you. We all love that feeling, men and women. We love it.
I've been a mom since I was 19.
God damn.
Yeah. So I'll be 42 in June.
God damn.
Don't. Whoa.
It slipped out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. This has been a great episode. Thank you for listening. I'll throw his little socials in the episode.
That's crazy. Don't do me like that.
Nah. Yeah. So like, I've been a mom for a long time. And then it's kind of like when the girl's dad died, that brought on a whole different type of whatever. And the last, my youngest daughter's sophomore and junior year was just wild, and that's what I've been thinking about, because I'm like, man, this girl, she actually, and it wasn't like grades. Her grades were fine. She's always been good in school. It was her emotions, her mental health, her wilding out as she was going through different things. And I'm just glad she's still alive and here to have graduated. And you just don't know what kids are going to take you through. And I don't have, and this world is crazy too. Like,
super.
I'm real cool on starting all over. And
you're not gonna miss it though. You're not when your daughters leave. You're not gonna miss it. You're gonna be like, you know what? I should have had another baby.
So I have nieces. My brothers. You know what? It's good enough. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, and my oldest daughter is not moving out yet, but I have a really good relationship with my kids. So it's like I told them we'll start doing, like, I'll take one, like me and my son will go on a trip. Me and one daughter. So like it looks different now that they're adults, but you never really stop parenting. Like, I'm currently staying at my mom's house while I'm building my company up. So, and I'm grown, you know what I'm saying? And and I'm in my old room, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So no.
So can y'all? Okay, so your kids are with you at your mom's house?
So my oldest daughter is. My son lives with his dad, and he's actually, like, he's been with his dad most of his life. So like when his dad and I split, his dad was like, I want him to live with me. I will never keep him from you, and he never has, and whatever. But I didn't grow up with my dad, and he didn't grow up with his dad. So for me, I was like, wow, that's dope. My son gets something that I didn't, and I don't regret that. Now, some people have tried to like say what they want to say about it, but the reality is, when a mom and a dad split up, the child is gonna live with the mom or the dad. It's not like he was living with a grandma or an auntie, or like he was with his dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then my youngest, so she finished high school actually back in October. So she's been done with school. So the graduation is more just the ceremony.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
She turned 18 in October, and so she actually moved out end of February, I think, or early March. Now she lives with her aunt, so it's not like she's completely on her own, but it's that step of getting out of mom's house and feeling some independence, but still safe for me. Like, I know her aunt isn't gonna let anything happen to her. She's not gonna like try to get over on her or treat her grimy or nothing like that. So like it gives me some peace of mind because I'll be concerned about some of her choices sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my oldest daughter is here, and I'm in my own room. She's in because my mom has a 4-bedroom house by herself, so we all have our own room. Yeah. So
y'all allowed to have male company?
no, no, absolutely not. Not at mom. Nah. I mean, well, I mean, not that kind of no, absolutely not. Like if somebody wanted
You about to spill the beans. Come on.
I was gonna say if somebody wants to come just hang out in the living room, like that's how my mom is. But like treating it like it's my house, no. But that's no different than what I told my kids. I'm like, when you're, yeah, you grown, but if you choose to make certain choices, you gotta make this outside of my house, cause nah. Yeah, my mom, no. I don't even drink in her house. Like she's a woman of God, and you just you know how that is when yo and I have a relationship with God too, but it's always different that older generation. So, but it's funny because my granny, she drinks, so when she comes into town, she might have bottles of wine, and I drank with her at my cousin's graduation last year. That was kind of cool. I'm like, okay, granny, with the bottles of wine. Yes.
What kind of wine your grandma drink?
I think she brought Moscato was the one that I remember. There was another one. I don't know.
Please don't say Carlos Rossi. Please don't say Carlos Rossi.
I don't think so.
Okay, because if your grandma drink Carlos Rossi, that means she used to run numbers back in her day. I ain't want that for your grandma.
Yeah. But I also don't know wine like that. But all I know is, yeah, we all had some wine. And you know how it be them, because like my cousin's there. So you have these moments where you're like, wow, we're grown out here. Like we up sipping wine, playing spades, and that's when you know when you've arrived. So
absolutely.
Yeah, ain't none of that here at my mom's house. Absolutely not. No. But let's get into the next tweet. Which one do I want to do?
Shut me off. Oh, you'll do Stevie J, but you won't do me? That's great.
Yeah, so the next tweet, let's go a different direction. Okay, we'll go here. So this lady said, okay, or he, no, that's the lady. She said, I don't want to cut ties, but you forcing me. So my question for you is, someone who you are quick to cut a nigga, not a nigga, but cut somebody off, so don't get comfortable, Cardi B voice, or are you somebody that leans more towards giving more chances, and like at what point are you like, okay, I gotta cut you off, I'm done? And it could be friend, it don't gotta necessarily be relationship, just in general.
No, I'll give a bunch of chances. Like I value relationships. So I'll give a bunch of chances before I really cut you off. But once I do, though, like I can be extremely cold-hearted once I do, because I give so many chances. Now I understand, like, you may be going through something at the time, so maybe that's why we're not connecting, or maybe that's why there's an issue. Like there's a multitude of things that could be happening to where we're not where we need to be at. So I'll give chance after chance after chance. But when I finally make that decision, yeah, we dead, damn near.
So is that with friends and relationships, or is it because like friend breakups? Ooh, those are rough.
I don't have no real. I have a few. as far as relationships go, yeah, like I'll give a million chances, especially if the vagina's in good. Then I definitely will. If we haven't went there, then I don't have a problem letting you go. But if I get it and it's good, yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple chances. Like, okay, so your baby got out of jail. We can work around that. I don't care.
So what becomes your point of, okay, but now I'm done? Is it a certain offense, or is it after so many, like you see it's a pattern? So like at what
Like,
point are you done?
when you make me feel like I'm begging, I hate the feeling like I'm begging. If I'm begging for your attention or I'm begging for you to, like, I hate that feeling. So once you make me feel like I'm begging, I'm like, all right, I'm out of here.
That is a great segue. Did you see my list somehow? Because that is
No,
a
man.
great segue. Where to go? To this next tweet that I saw. Because like I told y'all, we're going to find tweets and then we're going to talk about it. I guess I'll answer that question real quick, though. For me, so I think back in the day, I would have said I give like a lot of chances because I'm someone who I'll rationalize, so I'll try to understand the why and where you coming from. But as I've gotten older, and honestly, it was once I turned 40. Once I turned 40, it's just certain things that I'm just like, dude, I'm 40. Like, what I look like doing this, that, and the other. And this goes friendship and relationships, but we'll go with men real quick. Once I started understanding that if a man really wants you, you will know it, and you don't really have to like question. Like all my homies that I've watched, and I'm not talking about a man who maybe he likes somebody and he's scared to say something or not sure if he want. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you're actually interacting with someone. All my homies that I watched pursue women they are some now married to or whatever, there wasn't like all these games and all this stuff that I've kind of experienced. So once I understood that about men, because I used to be like, oh, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then I started asking my homies, like, and they started putting me on game about the BS basically that I was accepting. And it's like, they're just not that into you. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? So once I realized that, I don't really do that whole bunch of whatever because I'm pretty like, hey, these are my and not ridiculous, but like these are my expectations. This is kind of what I need or whatever. I'm pretty self-aware because I've spent a lot of time figuring out what I want or what works for me personality wise. We're not even getting into, I'm not talking about financial status, none of that. I'm talking about what I need as a person. Like,
what is that? What does that look like?
So here's a good example. We know I started a company. We know I had, even before that, I'm a podcaster. So with podcasting, we'll go down that avenue real quick. So you and I are having this conversation, right? And I will have other male guests on the show, or I may have I have your number, or I have Juice's number, or trying to think of other podcasters that I'll text here and there. Networking or building friendships or whatever, I've always been somebody who's had guy friends. If you can't accept that and trust that I'm not out here doing nothing grimy, because if I was, I would have just stayed single. If you're not secure in the fact that I'm going to have a male guest and I don't need you sitting right here to make sure that this broadcasted episode, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're talking about relationships. We're talking about sex. That doesn't mean that I'm trying to get on with you. It's conversation. Right. So if you don't understand that about me and give me the space to have my show be just me, that's not going to work. Also, give me the space to do it. So that means if I say, hey, I got to record, this is a priority. Don't be talking about, oh, your little podcast, bye, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever call anything my little anything. Like, don't do that. If you don't understand that, like I create a lot of content between podcasting, the company content, the melanin intoxicate content, blogging, TikTok. I need to create. If you
Right.
don't understand that and give me the space to do that, and also my show is where I talk about my life and how I'm trying to grow. So if I'm not gonna like put all your business out there like that, but what I love about, and we'll use Spence and Shayna for example, I love the fact that even before she was a podcaster, as he would talk about different things on the platform, and I'm sorry, man, y'all gotta go to YouTube. Y'all gotta go to YouTube. Oh man, I'm sorry. Okay, so but yeah, like he had the freedom and the space to like not sugarcoat stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I've
absolutely.
never seen it where he was like disrespectful. So I'm not saying I need that, but if I need to talk about how I feel about something, like he made me mad and this is how it felt, and or whatever, that might be a part of the episode. And you gotta, but also with that, when I'm in these Twitter streets and you see, it's not like I be out here disrespectful. I don't even be flirting with nobody, none of that. But I just need all this to be like, this is like I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? Like treat it like that. You ain't coming to work with me. I don't need you all up in my like. I might not never post you on social media, and it's not because I'm not being faithful, is because you are important to me, and I know how the internet is. I barely post my kids, and when I post my kid, it's for a birthday, graduation, prom. I don't tag them in anything. Like I've removed all tags that I used to do back in the day before, because people are weird, and like I don't need people trying to no, just no.
Yeah.
So like those are just little things, you know what I'm saying, that like if you, that's not gonna work. And so
How do you think it's been an issue before in the past, like with relationships?
so I mean, I've been single the whole time that I've been doing this, but in the past, like I've always been somebody, like I said, who had guy friends. And I remember my ex, but that's because he was out here doing his thing, so he couldn't fathom that I wasn't doing what he was doing. So like, it made me isolate and like pull away from certain relationships, being young and trying to make a relationship work. And that's not who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? And so it has been a problem in the past with him where there's just no way that you could be friends with this person and y'all ain't doing nothing. Just because you can't apparently have female friends and not be messing with them, that don't, you know what I'm saying? I got plenty of homies that I've known since like junior high that we've never ever crossed that line. And I love you, and like you're married, and I love your wife, and I love, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have platonic friendships. My homie just came in town from Cali. We hung out. We just kind of sat out in the car and talked or whatever. That's always just been my homie. I've known that man for like over a decade. It's the homie. We could be on the phone for hours talking about all kinds of stuff, and that's just the homie.
He ain't never tried to put his hand on your thigh?
No.
Never offered you a massage?
No.
All right.
No. The thing, what I appreciate about, now, I've had guy friends like that. Don't get me wrong. I have had guy friends in my singleness, not when I was in a relationship. So in my singleness, I have had guy friends where lines have crossed, whatever. Like who I am now at 41, almost 42, is the sum total of learning from mistakes I've made in the past. So I have had guy friends where we have crossed lines and we're no longer friends. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why not?
So for one is married now, and I just noticed that when they got married, I just their wife like knew whatever, and things just changed when they got married, and I just respected it because that's your wife, and it is what it is. We're no longer friends. Other people, I've made the mistake. I realize I am not the person that can be out here uh just sleeping with people and not really having that emotional really connection. Like I can't just be out here having casual sex. I've learned that about myself. So I've it's so funny. It's so funny hearing you say this to me and not say this to somebody on views. This is funny.
That's crazy. So wait. So once you have sex with somebody, you catch feelings from immediately. Y'all can't still be friends once y'all have sex.
I have to already I have to already have some sort of connection already. So when you have this, these have been like close friends that we've talked about all kinds of stuff. I mean, like hopes, dreams, whatever. But then maybe one day, you know, some just lines crossed and here we are, right?
Okay.
What I realized for me is that I can't just go back to like that never happened. And even if I decide I don't want to do that anymore, I can't just go back to friendship as usual, like none of that happened.
Why though?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it you or is it them?
It's me. It's me. So I remember one person in particular, where this is when I learned I can't do this because I said this is all I want from you because it wasn't somebody that I wanted to be with like at all on that level.
You just like his penis. I get it. Okay.
So that's what I said I wanted. He gave me what I wanted, and then when I got what I wanted, I realized that's not what I really wanted. But what I wanted, I didn't want from him, so I couldn't just continue. Like, if my head and my heart ain't in whatever's going on, it's a weird experience. Yeah, it's weird. My mind will go elsewhere, and it won't even be like the last time he and I did. I remember I totally like spaced out, and he's all into it and saying whatever, and it's like I couldn't even feel what was happening. So that's when and
so
it's not.
You a Stony and Nate?
I guess so.
You pulled a Stony on that man.
And it's not like it's because it was bad, because it's just this weird thing that I can't, like, maybe once the first time I can just do whatever, but it's not something I could, like, I can't be having no friends with benefits. This is just what we do.
Oh, so you can only sample the dick once, and then after that. Oh, okay.
And so because I know that about me, I don't even try to sample because I'm like, I don't want just that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had that. And I mean, even throughout young teenage through early 20s, and then even so man, somehow I was able to be wild out here. But
what? I do not get that from you. That is shocking.
Most people don't, but that's because I'm 41 now, so we're talking 20 years ago practically. And then I was with my son's dad, then we broke up. Then I had this wild phase after I broke up because the way I looked at it, I'm a very calculated person. So even if I make a reckless choice, I thought about it and weighed out the consequences of whether or not it was.
It's not that reckless. It's not that reckless.
Well, reckless to other people looking at it, like some of the choices I was making. And so I just kind of looked at it like men, and I don't think I was wrong, but men can be out here doing whatever. Nobody even say, oh yeah, they get dapped up and all this stuff. But if we do this, oh man, she is this, that, the other. And I don't ever subscribe to stuff that just doesn't make sense to me. So I had my little phase where I was just kind of like, if men could do it, I could do it too. And then
that's weird.
Yeah, and then ended up getting with my ex. So then we were together for years and we got married. And then by the time we divorced, I was 27. So that was almost 15 years. It'll be 15 years this year. And then I just chose a completely different life path. Because then at this point, I have 2 daughters. So now it's like, the woman that I am, do I want them to be, you know what I'm saying, like wilding like I thought I was going to? And because, man, listen, when we divorced, I was like, I'm about to be out here, and that did not happen. That did not happen at all. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because at first I was like, okay, let me not, like, how did? Because then, like, I went to therapy after our divorce because I'm like, well, how did I end up? Because our relationship was very toxic, very, like, there was violence and just all this stuff, and so went to therapy. And then at first I was like, I'm not going to date for a year. So I'm going to take a year, just focus on me, try to heal. And a year turned into, then I started college. So then it's like, well, I'm working, I'm raising my kids, I'm trying to get my degree. And I might have had a friend here and there, but this is when I learned that whole, nah, that's not what you really want. You really want more than that, like a different type of intimacy. And so then after I graduated college, I'm like, okay, now it's about to be my time to shine. Not going back to the ratchetness, but I'm just saying, like, consider a relationship. Well, then right after I graduated college, that's when their dad died. So then it became trying to help my kids process. So there's just been, and that was almost 7 years ago. And so now that my youngest has about to graduate, you might as well say, and I spent a lot of time really helping her, like, get her mental health in order. That's why I feel like, wow, I did that. Like, she really graduated, and she's doing so much better than she was even a year ago. You know what I'm saying? And so I've always put everything else first. So now I'm like, okay, yeah, I have my company, but I prioritize my time how I want to. So I could make time for someone now, but I gotta meet somebody. But yeah, so yeah, 1 year turned into almost 15 years later. And I don't regret it. Honestly, I think it was probably the best thing I could do because I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my own insecurities, toxic traits, all that stuff. So, no.
Nah, that's too long. 15 years? You didn't have that coochie tucked away like the Cable Wonders. Let somebody put that scale together and go find the Cable Wonders and let that tiger open up.
So, and it's so funny. I guess why would I have this conversation with myself on here? I'm not saying in that 15. See, I didn't say it's been 15 years.
Oh, somebody had their thumb in your butt. Okay. Say that.
Sir.
Say I've had a thumb in the butt. Okay. You seem like it wasn't no thumb. Okay.
Anyways, I'm just saying, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't even know how we got here, but here we are. This is what this is why I signed up. You know what? No what?
No Rolls toys for you. Thumb in the butt.
Oh my gosh. I did not say that, but if that's what y'all took from that, you know, you know what, just like I reserve the right to interpret what y'all say the way I tweet it. I know. I've accepted that. You know what I'm saying? I know that's part of having this platform. Y'all heard what I said, but you know, do what you want with that information. You feel me?
Right.
So speaking of relationships, right? This person said, that if someone even goes one day without speaking to you and you know they're actively using their phone, they don't like you. I don't care. The end. What are your thoughts on that? 'Cause that's a bold statement.
That's very bold, but people are so used to attention. Like that's probably how a lot of people feel. Like you can just like I can't speak for nobody else, but I have moments, I have days where I don't want to deal with nobody. Like I don't want to do even if I'm romantically involved with you. Like I just kind of want to keep my energy to myself. Like I could be going through anything, and so I've had that issue before, right? Where I'm dealing with somebody, and I'm like, well, Darren, you're on social media, but you're not responding to these texts. You're not picking up the phone. And it's kind of like I had to get to a point where like they're not obligated to talk to me. So it just comes with a level of awareness about yourself. Like sometimes I might get a tweet off, or I might post something, and then I might set my phone down for the rest of the day. Just like because again, like I said at the beginning of the episode, like sometimes like I believe those things for other people, so I may feel a need to say, let me put some positive energy out there for other people, but for me, I could be going through something at the time. So like this is for y'all, it ain't for me, and then I won't engage no more for the rest of the day.
I feel
So
like a
yeah,
lot of times when people encourage, it's usually from a place of I feel like somebody else, like be what they would, almost like what they wish somebody would be for them. In a sense, like this is what I would feel like I would need. I know what it feels like to go through this, or whatever.
yeah.
That's usually how that goes.
That's how it is for me a lot of times. Like if I'm going through something or if I'm feeling away, like I'll step outside of myself for a moment and be like, if I'm going through something, a lot of people I know are probably going through something similar. Maybe not something similar, but I know a lot of people are probably going through their own individual battles. I feel like everybody has their own individual battles, whether they broadcast them or not. Some may be more severe or less severe, however you gauge that. But like everybody's going through something. So if I'm feeling the kind of way, I know somebody else somewhere is feeling some kind of way. So let me put some positive energy out there for them. Like I don't know who this message is for because I get random. I have this app on my phone where I get these random messages on my phone. So my
Mm.
phone just it randomly sends me these messages. Like sometimes it's like not really, but sometimes it's like damn, I feel like somebody needs to hear this. It ain't for me. But I feel like somebody needs to hear this, and so it'll be like those times where I'm like, okay, let me put this out there in the universe and see who needs it.
I get these it's not God wants you to know, but it's almost like something like that, like inspirational random text messages whenever there's like this
Yeah,
inspirational, I forget what the ministry is called that I follow, and they were like, if you want, encouraging text messages, whatever. And I'm like, and they come at like the most random, like it'd be 2:27 and it'd be so on point, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a firm believer that I definitely agree that even if people aren't sharing it, we have this thing where we look at social media and we see the highlights. And I know just from knowing how life goes that yes, y'all had this second live show, but I know even if no one had ever said we had to fight to get here or whatever, I know that nothing worth having comes easy. You know what I'm saying? So
this is a fact.
I know there's all life be life in, and it's always trying to hate on what, even something like trying to plan a graduation party. You know what I'm saying? Just little stuff is gonna happen. And so because of that, I love people that try to put positivity out there, and I try to be that way. Yeah, there's jokes, there's laughter, whatever. Yes, I'm petty. Yes, if I know I can poke fun at something and you know what I'm saying, and we could laugh
Yeah,
about it, heck yeah, because I like to laugh, but it's never going to be from a place of maliciousness. Like, if y'all go back
right.
to the beginning of this episode, my biggest joke with Ivan right now is really me giving him his flowers. Like, that's literally the biggest joke right now is me giving them props, saying you might not feel like whatever, but me as somebody watching your journey the past 2 years, watching y'all show like grow and add different things, like I see you, but I know other people see you too, because I'll see other people, and then when I see the evidence, I'm like, Yes, and I don't even have to try. It just be like the timeline be doing its thing, you know what I'm saying? But that's my biggest joke with him is giving him his flowers. It's not even like really me being mean because that's just not me at all. But I definitely agree that people who need more attention may feel that way. I am somebody who I'm an introvert. Like I do extroverted things because either the career that I've had has called for it or the creative endeavors that I love, I need to create. So like I love, podcasting. I love everything that I do. But then that makes me have to be more extroverted because you got to engage with your supporters. Not you have to, but like I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't have to listen. Y'all don't have to retweet. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And the people that I would have thought in life maybe would have don't because they don't understand that type of support. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'm not popular enough locally for them to feel like they want to, whatever. And I don't even care about that because I appreciate all the dope people that I've met on Twitter that I didn't know y'all before podcasting, but now I couldn't have pictured, like I couldn't have imagined the West Side Connection karaoke battle without y'all. Nobody else would have came with what y'all came with. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody else would have put in the effort that for my vision. And that's what I love about this community is that I was like, hey, Ivan, I didn't know if he did guest spots, first of all. So I'm like, do you even like go on other people's shows? Do you want to be on? I don't know what I want to talk about. And he was just with it. That's usually how the podcast community is. So that said, I'm not an extrovert though. So like, yeah, when we have like podcast happy hour or we have something where we're getting a lot of attention, I kind of got to retreat within myself and make sure I have some time to myself to like what regenerates me, like what makes me get refilled is time alone. So like that's honestly how I start my day. Every day I'll just literally I have this on my phone. I'll put a 15-minute timer and literally just sit there, phone on do not disturb for 15 minutes. My mind don't shut down. I ain't figured out how to do that yet, but I'll just sit there and then I'll pray for my kids and then I'll journal and then I'll read my Bible and then I'll start like that's how I start my day every day. So I'm not somebody, and there's people that are like, you're my best friend and I love you so much, but I don't have to talk to you every day. Like, and it doesn't mean I'm mad at you. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means it takes a lot of energy to interact with people. And sometimes kind of like you said, I need my energy for me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just to survive. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I guess but I thought I was different in that way where like I don't need to speak to everybody. Like or even something simple, like if I'm in a relationship with you, I don't need to talk to you every day and I understand. Like maybe I'm not the one that's going through something. It could be you. So just, a simple little not today. I'll be like, all right, cool. Like I don't need to hold a 45-minute hour conversation with you every day. I just need to know you're alive. As long as I know you're alive, then all right, we'll pick it up tomorrow. We good.
I don't know what that will look like for me in a relationship because I've been single. I mean, yeah, whatever little friends I've had, but it wasn't. Yeah, like I remember somebody and we weren't even together. And this is where niggas get on my nerves. I know.
Conservative bag.
I know. Man, this is where people get on my nerves because I don't like so if I'm the friends that I've had where we've crossed lines or the friends we didn't or whatever, if I like you and I'm realizing that me spending all this time with you as my friend is causing me to have feelings for you or whatever, I'm going to tell you because you might be on that too. You know what I'm saying? Or you might not. And that's fine. I can take a no and we can still be friends. Like I'm not going to end a friendship. I'd rather you be honest than not. You know what I'm saying? You're not hurting my feelings by being honest. That's the kindest thing you could do, is say, you know what, I just see you as a friend. Okay, cool. Like, and if you think that I'm not going to get over you, sir, calm down. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? But I've had situations where I say that and they're like, oh, well, no, or whatever. Okay, cool. But then you try to spin the block on some other stuff. That's why I said niggas, because that's some niggatry. Like, no.
Why?
What you mean, why?
Why is that bigotry?
How do you say, I only see you as a friend on this level, but you want to get physical? But you don't even. No, yeah, go ahead and try to explain that. Go ahead.
Like your heart and your heart and your vagina are not attached to one another. Like those are two different things. Like I may respect you enough to know that I'm not what you need, or I may not be able to treat you. Because I recently had to have a conversation with somebody. Like, I respect you enough to know that what you're looking for, I'm not looking for. I would, however, like to see you naked, but if that don't happen, then I'm cool where we at now, because like I know you're looking for a relationship. I know you're looking for this kind of man, and you may feel like I could be that kind of man. I probably could be, but I just don't know if that's what I want with you.
The with you.
It
Yeah. I'm
may
not
be with
looking
you.
for a relationship and the with you be silent, because I had a situation where somebody said, I'm not looking for a relationship, and then a few weeks later they were in a relationship. The with you was
Yeah.
silent. You know what I'm saying? But I would rather you just say, I don't see you like that. And then don't try to, then when that don't work out, after you didn't kind of piss me off with that, because you should have just said, I don't see you like that. Don't try to then, when we're friends, we're chilling, we're drinking, and then you try to be on some weird stuff. Don't do that.
What's weird?
Don't try to have sex now because that didn't
What
work
you?
out with old girl.
Yeah, no. Like just because that had nothing to do with this. Like I can want to be in a relationship with her and still have lusty thoughts about you. Like it's not always black or white. It's not always either or. Like two things can be true at the same time. Like I could want you and want her in a different way.
Okay, well, you can have her. I'm cool on the different way that you want me and her.
What?
No, and see, that's back in the day, maybe see, this, you got to think about it. This is, as you get older, you start thinking about like what's actually going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. So like young 20s, late 20s, maybe even early 30s, maybe, but mid 30s to late 30s to now early 40s, cuz like 41 year, I told you when I turned 40, it's just it's like, I don't know, me saying I'm 40, just I don't even know. Something happened.
Mm.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's just try that one time. We might like it. And you know what? I can't speak for no other men, right? I can only speak for me, because it's times where I've like been with somebody and like I didn't think about a relationship until I was actually in it. Like, you know what? I actually might not mind. I might not mind. Yeah.
I might be ready.
Yeah, her kids is how old? Okay, I can play with them a little bit. Yeah. So that happens.
Nah. That, I mean, and everybody's different and at different stages in life. So this is not me saying it with judgment. Again, I said I know that casual sex is just not something for me. That's not something that I can be on. It's something that I can do. And if you're just listening, you like, I'm laughing for a reason, but you got to see things from my point of view to understand why. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And so then with that, like, I'm definitely not somebody, I don't know. I don't know. I have been single so long, I can't fathom wanting to talk to somebody all the time or every day, or like
It's
I
tough.
don't know. It's gonna be a weird adjustment. And then this same friend, I remember, felt some type of way when, even just as a friend, I pulled back and wasn't as available. But it's like when I'm busy and I'm working on something, and or I start evaluating, like, okay, is this relationship mutually like a life-giving relationship, or is this just a relationship where, yeah, we drink and smoke, or I don't smoke anymore. So yeah, we drink and we laugh, and this, yeah, I used to smoke back in the day,
This is
but
crazy.
Ivan,
If you tell me you used to sell pussy, I'm gonna hang this phone up because like you keep peeling these layers back, and I don't know what's gonna come out of them.
no, I've never done that. Now that I can say, I've never done. You know what I'm saying? I Yeah, I lived a different life before. There's a lot of, and it's so funny because how I am now, people can never, and then I just say stuff because I forget that, like, you don't know that, but because of like youth ministry or even working with teenagers, I'm very transparent about different things because I use it as a teachable thing. So I just say stuff, and I don't have any shame in anything that I've
Yeah,
done, you know what I'm saying? But I forget that people don't know that, and I say it very, like, just like that, you know what I'm saying? And people
yeah.
be like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Um but yeah, drinking, whatever. Some people, that's all that relationship is. So then when you're trying to be more productive, like right now,
Mm,
I'm trying to build a company, or any other goal I've ever had, even when it was just podcasting, you got to put some time and effort into that, to not only record, maybe editing,
yeah,
promoting, live
absolutely.
show, you know what I'm saying? So like when I'm having a different focus, you might not be the type of friend that I'm going to be around all the time like that. Or if I feel like, well, this is all we talk about, I'm not going to cut you off. But that just means if I don't feel like talking about the same old, you might
Right.
hear from me less than,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that makes
Well,
sense.
sometimes people, they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't like when you fall back. They don't like when you try to do what's best for you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Mentally,
Yeah.
emotionally, whatever. And that's kind of how this friendship went. And so then I will just fall all the way back. Like, I don't have a problem with cutting people off if need be. Like if we can't mutually agree on whatever, like I've went some of my worst moments alone, so I'm fine if I have to
Mm-hmm.
just be. I'm just
That's
saying,
sad.
no, I don't say that like I don't have a support system. It's just I'm an external processor, but so this is why my show is me talking about my life and how I'm trying to grow, even on a solo episode.
Yeah.
But I do better just kind of processing on my own, because a lot of times people usually they give their advice based on their perspective. Like our views on
Yeah.
relationships or whatever, your perspective is your perspective, mine is mine, but it's based on my experience and whatever. Neither is wrong or right, but that's usually how people give advice. So like
Right.
your advice might not work for me, you know what I'm saying? Because, whatever. And so, and then a lot of times, if it's like heavy stuff, I don't like crying. I mean, I guess I've gotten more okay with it the more that I do it. The more life be life in, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I don't really like necessarily crying in front of people, being vulnerable. I've gotten better at it, but it has really been a process. Like in the last since having this show,
Mm.
I've
Okay.
grown. So in my super grown age, so I used to struggle with like telling people whatever, or even knowing that, hey, I can't be having casual sex out here because that's not good for me. I
Mm.
didn't might not have said that before because it might have felt too soft or too, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that was like the perspective that I had, that being emotional was gross. I think I said that in my first episode. Like, vulnerability is gross.
Vulnerability is gross. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What's gross about
I don't feel that way now. But 2.5 years ago, yeah, the first episode was called Vulnerability Ew, and I was just talking about how I struggle with being vulnerable. I think part of it is a level of trust you got to have with people, and if you've had friendships that have fizzled out, or broken up, or if you have a relationship that didn't go the way you thought it would be, and maybe like in mine, not feeling heard or whatever, then you kind of maybe build this wall. This is just me speaking my experience, where
Yeah.
then it's like, well, then I'm not gonna let people in, or I'm not gonna, because I said this and I wasn't heard and my feelings weren't validated, and you can only go, and it started way before even that relationship. That's how I ended up in a relation, a marriage like that or whatever. But
Right.
so when you have so much of people invalidating your feelings, not being heard, then you just come to this point where it's like, well, I'm just not going to share my feelings, because and you trick yourself into, you build this wall, but then you're isolated because
Yeah.
you're shutting everybody out, and that was kind of where I was. And it's taken a lot of healing, a lot of um some therapy over the years, but I think really it's just been a lot of healing on my own. Or I mean, like, my relationship with the Lord has, obviously plays a big factor in my life.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
So yeah, so I don't feel that way anymore. And then it's also, you gotta have some people you shouldn't be vulnerable with,
I
and
agree there.
and it's like trusting myself that when I feel like that negative energy or whatever, trust that, because that's there for a reason. Even if I don't understand why, it usually shows itself. So like, as I've learned to trust myself and trust, okay, these are safe people, it's okay to be vulnerable here.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be somebody I need to back up with, or only say so much, or so it's been a learning process. I don't feel like that really at all anymore, but I definitely felt like that a couple of years ago. Like,
Well, yeah. Hopefully that means you got better people in your circle that made it so you were more comfortable to be vulnerable, when you're around them.
I would say that for sure. I would say also, it's like when you invalidate somebody's feelings, that's kind of like the worst thing you can do. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so when you have people that validate your feelings, and I'm not saying yes man or yes woman, so I'm not saying that, because I don't want that. If I'm wrong, tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Challenge me. But at the same time, I've reconnected with, I can think of one of my guy friends that I've known since junior high. We reconnected, I want to say, it was before I started podcasting. And I really see where the Lord used him. And it's not nothing like he's married, so it's just my friend, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after being in a relationship where everything was perverted, in the sense that because he was cheating, oh, I couldn't possibly have guy friends and it not be more than just that. So then it made me like fall back from people, because it's like, I'm trying to make this work and I don't want to hear his mouth. And really it was manipulation and all this stuff, but I didn't understand that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so then when me and my friend reconnected, and I just really see where the Lord used him to be like a source of healing in that area, where, like, I mean, I would talk to him about grief, because he lost his sister, and so he understands
Mm.
that, like, grief on that level. And I would talk to him about, even though he doesn't have kids, but like parenting fears, whatever, and he would really just be there, listen, advise, be my sounding board, whatever. And I mean, obviously, when he started dating his now wife and got married, you kind of fall back a little bit to respect, we still talk though. And like, no, we still talk. They came in town and I met her and all that stuff. They even bought me like my lighting for as a birthday gift
nice.
because he knows how much podcasting is important to me or whatever. But I see where the Lord used him to be like this source of healing. Like, yes, platonic male and female relationships are not only are they possible, they're important. Like, it's important for you to have somebody of the opposite sex that it can give you that perspective without it being anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's important. And so once that happened, and I'm grateful that happened because that happened before I started podcasting. So then when I step into the podcast world and I decided that, okay, I don't care how dope somebody is in this world, this is a space that like I'm not gonna be dating no podcasters. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be doing that. And know that it's possible to have dope conversation. You can make a bomb episode. You can be great friends, visit each other, whatever, and it's not that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like.
Oh no, okay, because you say you only been for 2 years, okay, so you wasn't around. Because I thought a bunch of like black podcasters was all smashing, but
I've heard about that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't me. that wasn't me at all. I've definitely heard different. I mean, at different events, and you know what I'm saying. I haven't even been to any of the events, but had I gone to an event, that wouldn't be a thing. I look at it like work. I wouldn't want to date anybody that I work with just because I want work to be work. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be part of it is me needing my space. So then there's that too. I want podcasting to be my thing that I do. I don't know that I don't nah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
A podcaster who don't like podcasts, that's crazy.
I didn't even say don't say don't like.
Oh, it's not interested in dating.
Oh yeah, no. And I mean my listeners wouldn't be surprised. I say that on here all the time.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's a world that I want to be able to just build relationships. I mean, I know there are people that I don't even really know them, and I definitely don't know they significant other, but I know all their business because they did an episode about it. Like, I just don't need that in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be a part of your diss track episode if, and I don't, and like, I use my platform. Yes, I talk about my life and what I'm trying to go through, but I'm usually pretty kind of vague-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm usually, because I try to respect that this person may not want this known about them, and I didn't ask if it was okay to, you know what I'm saying? But also, I'm just not one that wants to bash people publicly anyway, because you can't take back what you put out there. Even if you delete the episode, whoever heard it, it's up there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to have stuff out there that's that way. But I know I'm responsible like that, but that doesn't mean he will be. So it's kind of like, nah, I'm cool on nah. I mean, and I've met some dope podcasters, but that's the homie.
That's crazy.
That's the homie. I don't care who it is. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how dope the vibe is. That's the homie.
That might be the one. That might be the one to open the Cave of Wonders. You don't even know.
No, I'll never know.
That's crazy. You never know what God's putting for you. God can be like, look, I'm showing this great individual to you. You're not even giving him no attention because he's not doing what you want him to do. But this is why I put in your life for a reason.
That sounded real good, but no.
I'm saying.
no. And it's not that they're not doing what I want them to do. It's that they're doing what I don't want them to. Like, I don't want them to be a podcaster that I
Yeah,
met in the podcast community, and also that everybody else knows. I just told you, I don't even know that I'm posting anybody. So, like, if it's somebody that everybody knows, I don't know if I want that.
why? Why wouldn't you want your man to, if he's doing anything, whether it's podcasting, whether it's carpentry, whether it's whatever it is, why wouldn't you want your man to be the absolute best version of himself he can be?
Exactly, I want that, and that's why I don't want it to be a podcaster, because that means if he's the absolute trying to be the best at what he's doing, just like I'm trying to be the best at it, that means you got to be out there. That means you got to be, everybody knows who you are. They don't even necessarily got to listen to you, but you got to have, they at least know who you are or whatever. So then when your wave is coming and popping in the moment, then everybody wants to be associated with you and all that. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Yeah, I don't want that for whoever I'm with. No. Sometimes I don't even, like, I appreciate the support. Don't get me wrong, but I understand it can be short lived. You know what I'm saying? Like, in that
Yeah.
moment where you're popular, it's da 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 da, and then it's on to the next wave. You know what I'm saying? So because
Absolutely.
I know that it can be, as an introvert, it can be a lot for me, because I'm also someone who generally prefers, like I struggle with small talk because you know what I'm saying? I struggle with, that's why whatever guest I have on here, we're going to talk about whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to go wherever it goes. But yeah, I struggle with small talk. That's an area I've had to grow in, because I sometimes have people where I'm like, okay, I said we got to start at this time. Like, I'm thinking being responsible and honoring your time. But some people, they need to, like, maybe connect a little before you even start recording.
Yeah.
And you gotta, some people need that, you know what I'm saying? And so
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Nah. Yeah. All right. Speaking of the industry, these are great segues. And I normally wouldn't even give this person anything on my platform, but I think this is mad weird what I saw, and so as a father, I want to know what your thoughts are on this. So everybody knows this whole Kanye Kim separation. I think they're actually officially divorced now. We haven't heard from him in a while. And then today I saw that Pete Davidson, which is Kim Kardashian's new boyfriend of apparently 7 months, got his, so Kanye West's kids' initials tatted on his neck. And so in the thread it says, oh, I didn't realize he was that much younger than Kim Kardashian, but he got another tattoo for her. So apparently he got a tattoo for her before. And this one includes her 4 kids. So he got K for Kim, N for North, S for Saint, C for Chicago, P for Psalm. Did not realize that was their youngest child's name. Whoever authored this tweet said, "How sweet." Now they've been together for 7 months, so kids aside, getting somebody tattooed on your body after 7 months is
wow. That's wild.
That is super wild. Like, I would not.
But they say he had like 2 other like before this one. Like, I think they say he got her name like tattooed twice, and he got her name branded. Like, so that, like, I don't know if he's trolling her. I don't know if he's trolling Kanye, or I don't know if he's obsessed with this woman. Like, it seems like it's beyond just, because I can, especially because Pete Davidson is a comedian, right? Like, so if you want to troll him, You can go on social media. You can go on your show. You got stand up. You have a million different ways you control Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Like to go and put this woman's name on your body that many times, like that's something different. Like I don't know what that is. I don't know. Like especially in a 7 month span, as a father, I would be concerned. Like this, you know what I'm saying, this is beyond me and him having a beef. This is something else. At this point, I would be concerned for my kids' safety.
I saw somebody on TikTok did a reaction video, and that's what they said. Not everything that you said, but that last part about their concern from kids, because that's just weird. Like, it doesn't have to
Yeah,
be Kanye West kids. It being anybody's kids. Like, y'all ain't even
absolutely.
married. So, like, what are you doing? Like, you ain't even made a year, which I know some people be together 6 months and get married and then be married for the rest of their lives. So I know things like that happen. Y'all ain't even married. You don't even know. Like, I don't know. I just think that's weird.
It seems like he's obsessed with her. It seems like he's more obsessed with her than he is trolling Kanye. And like we've seen Federal Attraction. You don't want to put your kid in that. We've seen it. And the
Mm.
Rocks the Cradle. We see what crazy white people do when the kids is involved. And no, thank you. I'm good. Enough. We didn't seen it. We didn't seen the movie. They didn't show it.
So as a father, how would you, and not you being Kanye, because we know I don't see, that's why I haven't watched whatever his documentary is called, because I don't respect the way I don't like anything. Like, if you have me actually kind of feeling sorry for Kim Kardashian because of the way you've been harassing
Mm,
her, then that means you're doing a lot. Because, and it's
yeah.
not like I dislike her. I don't know that woman, but I actually have felt, because it's like the Lifetime movie true crime origin story. Like, this is how it starts. And if it wasn't Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, where she has a lot of money and can maybe have security and all this stuff, this might be going way differently, because you see too many people get murdered in real life because they left somebody and that person didn't
Absolutely.
want it to, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, that's what I don't like about it. And so then because of that, I didn't even watch this documentary, because I'm like, I don't respect. I'm the kind of person, like, and I haven't had this with any podcasters, but like, let's say there's a podcaster where like I don't respect, not really what you do on the timeline, because I know some people have to have a certain persona on the timeline to be on brand. So I'm not even
Yeah.
talking about that. But if you just do whatever too much to the point to where I'm like, man, I don't even know if I like that person, I'm not listening to I don't care what you talking about. You ain't getting no
Yeah.
streams for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You ain't getting no downloads for me. So because of that, I didn't watch his documentary. I've heard like great things about it, but I can't forget. Like, I don't know, and it's not me judging him. I really think he needs to get some help. You know what I'm saying? I know he has mental health struggles, but because of that, I haven't watched it. But like with this whole tattoo thing, I'm like, getting her name, I guess, okay, whatever. But the kids, them ain't your
Mm,
kids. They got a daddy. Like,
yes.
what are you?
Yeah.
And their daddy loves and cares about them.
Yeah. If it was my kid, if it was my kid's uh, mom and her new nigga, I have a problem with it. But like, I guess it depends which one of them, because one of them she been in the street, so it's just like, oh, that's just this the new one, huh? Okay, well, the other one though, I would kind of be concerned because like she's a lot more conscientious about those kind of things. So like, what is going on? What you got going on with dude? Because now my antenna is up. Now I made that decision a long time ago. Like behind my kids, I would be okay with going to jail. We're going to prison for the rest of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to jail. I'm terrified. I'm gonna hold you. I'm a pussy. But a long time ago, I had to make a decision. Like if it ever got there, I had to go and I had to just let that be that. So I'm prepared to do that at any time. So get this nigga under control because it's not gonna be pretty.
Let me tell you something. I have been to jail.
Mm. What the is going on today?
But listen, it was because of a traffic warrant. So, okay, so I've been twice for traffic warrants.
For traffic warrants, okay, both okay.
But okay, and so then like technically I did shoot somebody, but no, but listen. They didn't take me to jail for that. They took me. It's so crazy how it went, but they took me not because I shot somebody, but because I had a traffic warrant. So they're like, we would let you go home, but you have a traffic warrant. And then when I went to where Bedrock is what they call it here, they were like, do you want to go home? So I pretended like I was going to do the offender work program. I didn't do that. I wasn't about to be picking nobody's trash out, but I signed up for it. I don't have a warrant. I've paid my dues to society since then, but that was for traffic warrant. But I say all that to say the first time I went, I was pregnant and I turned myself in because I didn't want to like have the baby and then get arrested. And that was the worst because like they had us in a room, like there were 4 of us. I was sleeping on this little like almost like an exercise mat. That was literally the worst experience. The second time I got pulled over and they took me, and I just remember they made me like the first time I went to Bedrock. So that's where they don't make you dress out or whatever they call it. So I just had my regular clothes on, went to court the next morning, and boom. And I made sure to go on a Sunday night so I wouldn't be there that long. You know what I'm saying?
And that's when you shot somebody.
No, that was just when I shot somebody, they literally arrested me. But they didn't have to find me because I didn't go anywhere. I stayed there. It's just okay. And sometimes I like. I want to be very clear that I say this, and it's for a reason. It's because of the person, like who I shot. When I share this on here, it's never or anywhere when I talk about this. I have never been a person to glorify that as, oh, ha ha ha, because it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But because of who it was, even that much more, because it was my ex's baby, his other baby mama, and hit my stepkids know and all this stuff. And so like I never want them. She and I have talked. She and I like have hashed it out or whatever. This happened. Yeah, I was 25 when this happened. Just
did she get to shoot you back?
Here's the crazy thing is she said that she I'm surprised she didn't. It's literally by the grace of God that she didn't. She was plotting. She would have been the one to do that, like no question. But she was like she was in the hospital and plotting everything because she knew where I stayed. She knew where my mama stayed. Like. And she was like, this woman just came up to her. I don't know if she said it was a nurse or whatever, and was like, basically everything that she was thinking in her head that she had not said out loud to nobody that she was plotting on doing. The woman said all that to her and was like, God does not want you to do that. And that's why I say by the grace of God. That might not be verbatim how it, what the woman said, but that's what the woman, what she told me. That's the only, so like she called me and I wasn't even like fully sorry at that point, but she was like, I forgive you. And I'm just saying like, I'm not a fake person. So I didn't really look at it as this, oh my gosh, I can't, like, I wasn't there yet. You know what I'm saying? Do I regret it now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have killed her and then I would have to live with not only killing somebody, but killing my kids' siblings. Like, that's just messed up. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I shot her,
With a Tory, you shot her in the foot?
I should have shot her in the stomach.
Oh, you an assassin.
Stop.
That is crazy.
Please stop. It's just because I was in the car and she was on the passenger side, and
Y'all was in the car together.
No, she was outside the car.
Oh, okay, got you.
But the thing about it is, after I shot her, okay, now here's where this is how my life goes. Ivan, y'all have to watch to understand why I laugh. This man is hilarious, and it's not even like he's really trying to be funny. That's what's so funny.
I'm tuned in right now. This is hilarious.
I know. So there's so many unsolved murders. There's so many whatever where people shoot people and they just get away with it, never get arrested. Like, that's the reality, right?
Yeah, myself.
But when I shoot somebody, okay, when I shoot somebody, we on the block, that's her house. I shot her and less than and I couldn't go anywhere because she had slashed my back passenger tire, so I couldn't like really drive anywhere anyway. But when I shoot somebody, police come this side of the block and that side of the block. So where would I go in a car with a flat tire, even if I was trying to wait? But I've never been the type of person to run away from consequences. Like I said, I'm a calculated person where I weigh the risk on, is this worth me doing this? So I pulled over and this was back when I used to smoke cigarettes. So I just lit a cigarette and I just kind of sat there.
You smoke people and smoke cigarettes? What is
that? Stop it.
Jeez Louise.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm knowing they're coming because I shot somebody. Like, I know they're going to come up to the car. So I'm just smoking my cigarette. They come all guns drawn, all aggressive. And I'm like, calm down. It's not that serious. The gun. Well, because but listen, I wasn't doing, I was literally just sitting there smoking a cigarette. Like, I understand that I understand how stupid this sounds in hindsight. But in my mind, at the time, I'm like, I'm literally just sitting here smoking a cigarette. The gun is on the seat. Like, I didn't even try to run. Y'all don't even got to come all like that. So they put me in handcuffs, put me on the side. Then they took me downtown and I was like, well, do you want to know what happened or why or whatever? So I tell my, side of the story or whatever. So here's the crazy thing. Okay. So a couple weeks before that, so when I say violence, and because he's gone, like he was killed, I'm like, I had forgiven him for things in our relationship before he died. And thankfully, that's one of the last conversations that we had a couple months before he died, where we really just talked about whatever. So I know that he knows that I forgave him.
Yeah.
But as part of our marriage, I was stabbed by him a couple of weeks before this shooting happened. Yeah, I'm who I am now, and why I changed my life around after we split is because I looked at our relationship and I was like, how the hell? Nah, okay, all right, God, this is really how, when I was like, okay, God, because parents take you to church and all that stuff, and I'm like, all right. I've been doing my own thing this whole time. I'm going to see what it's like if I try to follow you. And then if I don't like it, I'm going to go back to doing my own thing.
Right.
And then, and then I realized that a relationship with God, like, you don't have to be this perfect person and just all these things that you think. So, here I am still here. But the crazy thing about it is, so they take me to the whatever, they have me in some room asking questions. Now, this is how I know, like, God was in this, because they really shouldn't have let me go with an unregistered gun. Y'all know I shot somebody. But what I told them, because she came out there with this big old knife and, slashed the back tire or whatever. And I told them, I was like, I was just stabbed a couple weeks ago. The that were a part of this were the cops that had come to my house when I was stabbed. So they knew that I was not lying about that. Because they were like, you remember the woman that was on, I lived on Patrick Ave at that time, that got stabbed? That's her in there. So I don't know. I don't really understand why and I never got charges or anything. Like not even like a gun charge, like nothing. I don't, just God, I guess. So they took me to Bedrock, but they didn't keep me. They said, do you want to go home? And I was like, hell yeah. And so they had me sign the offender. So they didn't keep me at all. And I couldn't find a ride home. So I walked because I didn't want them. I didn't want them to change their mind and try to keep me. So I just walked home. And then it was after that my mom was like, because she done watched me get stabbed. Now I'm shooting people. And she's like, if you don't get your stuff together, I'm taking my grandchildren from you, because you're not about to have my grandchildren going through this, that, and the other. Okay. So then let's get back to so before that is the times that I actually went to jail. So the other time I got pulled over, I had a traffic ticket. They kept me. They actually made me dress out. So they made me take their little stupid jail shower and get naked in front of the officers. And you get on my nerves. And like do all the jail stuff that they do, where they make sure you're not bringing contraband in there. And then they took me in like real jail, like where the criminals are at, and they had me in the jail clothes. But here's the thing, people are in there like watching TV, braiding hair, playing spades, like this is just the place to be. I went in my room and faced the wall and I was crying, because I'm like, this is not the life for me. And like my cellie, she's all like, oh, are you okay? And I'm thinking like, I don't want you, no offense, ma'am, if you happen to hear this, but like, I don't want you talking to me. I don't know if you're gonna try to get me in my sleep. Like, you see all this stuff on movie, and it's, based on reality in some.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it was tax time and I had bond money, so I was able to get out. And that's why I don't be doing nothing. Like I don't be trying to get caught speeding. I just obey the law. But yes, before my kids though, yes, I would gladly do time for my kids. But anything else, no. I'm not stealing. What I look like at my grown age, what you in for? Shoplifting? No, I'm gonna say I killed everybody. Like, I'm gonna have some street cred in this jail. I'm not gonna be in here off no dumb stuff. So
that makes sense though.
Yeah, so that's why I'm the way I am now. And it's an authentic change, like over 15 years of just trying to do stuff differently and realizing. So like, yeah, I used to smoke, but then what I realized is that that's not for me anymore, so I don't smoke anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you realize things are just not for you. Like, even one of the biggest things is I just get sleepy. So like, and it doesn't matter what strain people try to talk about. Oh, no, it makes me so relaxed. All I want to do is eat and then probably go to sleep. And me being where I'm at in my life now, that I'm trying to grow a company, what I look like just sleeping. I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's more so depending on where I'm at in life, is like, this is just something that it doesn't fit in what I'm trying to do and the goals that I'm trying to have for me. For some people, it works for them, and more power to them. Like, I don't judge, I don't whatever, because what's for you is for you, and that's cool. It's just not for me. So yeah, that's why I'm different now.
ain't mad at it. Ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
Smoking niggas. That's crazy.
I didn't. She's still alive. Stop.
So like when you shot her, so what she do is like fall on the ground in front of the car.
You know what's crazy is I didn't even think I hit her because I shot, and then she actually, I guess, because her adrenaline was still going, walked. So like the ambulance, it's so crazy. The police and the ambulance came this way just already, and then a police came. Like I literally had just shot her. Like, and I don't say it like that's little, but it's like people kill people and like shoot people up, and like nobody comes. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't in a white neighborhood, and that's why. So I don't know, but that's how my life be. Like when I do something, oh, everybody's coming. So, and I'm not trying to, man, y'all know how I am. I'm dead serious, but I'm not trying to like make light of it. But that's literally my thought. Like we are, yeah, like there's so many unsolved murder mysteries or drive-bys or whatever.
Yeah.
People paralyzed, but like when I do something, just everybody's coming from both sides of the block, and so like she walked over, so I didn't think I hit her, and then she dropped down, and then I could see that I hit her in her stomach. So like once her adrenaline stopped pumping or whatever, yeah.
You didn't try to save her. You didn't be like, you know what? Let me try to save her life or nothing. Just let me pull out the cigarette. Let me pull out the menthol.
Don't do that. I mean, I know that wasn't a thought because the ambulance came. So, like, really, what could I do that was more than her? And then let's also go here. I mean, this whole time this was happening, our baby daddy was right there, like, seeing all this happening. You know, that wasn't a thought.
What was his reaction to all of this? Like when you shot her, like what did he do? What did he say?
Okay, I mean, this is how it happened. It's only because he's not alive that I just. So, why I shot her. So, he and I had a conversation the day before. I mean, she and I, you know how relationships can be messy when somebody's messing with two people. So, like, we never really got along, or we, you know, whatever. It was just typical baby mama, baby daddy drama relationship.
Right.
And he was supposed to be leaving out of town because he was trying to like kind of get himself together because he just realized, you know, a lot of the choices he was making. He also, we later found out, like had mental health struggles and just all this stuff that like he didn't really know at first. And so he was planning on leaving, and I had just got this like newer car, and he had said something about, she said she was gonna like slash my tires or bust my windows or whatever. Now this is Saturday. Let's back up to Friday because this wasn't my gun. So this is how this weekend went. Friday, so I used to live in the projects when all this was happening. I'm so glad they have since torn them down because that's also the same projects that I got stabbed in. So like the bad memory, like there's nothing to physically, like, you know,
remind you. Yeah.
So there was somebody that I knew that sold drugs, not weed though, like Franklin Saint type stuff, right?
Okay.
And so she had said that if she gave me gas money, smoked with me, and fed me, would I take her around to do what she needed to do that day? Whatever it is that she needed to allegedly do.
Okay.
And so one of which, huh?
That was a good deal, right?
I mean, she don't like money, food, and smoke. Yeah.
Good deal. Solid deal.
You know what I'm saying? So then, especially when that's what I was doing at the time, I'm different, guys. So, you know, I'm different now. But yeah, that was a deal. So one of the errands was take her dude to the train station because him and his friend were going out of town. So you can't take a gun on the train station. I mean, on the train or whatever. So he gave the gun to her. When she gets out of my car, I'm like, hey, make sure you take that because I was going to let my brother use my car that night. So I'm like, don't leave that. Oh, yeah, I got it. When she got out, it looked like she reached down and grabbed it, but she didn't. So she left it in my car. Thank God my brother didn't get pulled over, nothing crazy like that, because that would have been all bad. So the next morning, so that's Friday. So then Saturday morning, she calls me and she's like, I left that in your car, right? And I was like, what? Like, dude, I told you to grab that. So I go outside and I get it and I bring it in the house. So then the next day, when I'm going to take my, I was going to pick up my ex to take him because I was supposed to take him to the train station the next day. We were married at this time. And so this is when I was somebody that was like, you don't want to get divorced or you don't want to whatever. You want to try to make it work and try to figure out like what people need to whatever. At this point, this is when we start realizing he has mental health struggles and this, that, and the other.
Right.
And so it made me a little more kind of like forgiving of certain things that I probably wouldn't have been had it just been like, oh, this is just who you are as a person, And so, because this was after the stabbing. Now let's talk about that because the thing with that is, so ecstasy, right? He had kind of started taking that a lot, but see, people have such a misconception about ecstasy because what ecstasy, yes, on TV, it's sex, whoop-de-woo. And allegedly, if you take it and you're on that, allegedly, it could be a great experience. But if you take it and you are in a spiraling dark mental state, anger, whatever, what the drug really does is it intensifies whatever emotion is there. So in those party scenes and people are sexing, oh yeah, and yes, allegedly, if you take that and man, but
also
allegedly, yes, very much so. Like, man,
you did it before.
Allegedly.
Oh my God, you do drugs too? You are quite the character.
I don't. First of all, did it one time.
Okay.
I mean, 2 times.
Two times. Look.
2 times. No. That's not me trying to lie. That's me. Remember, just twice. But what I don't like about it is, I don't know if it's just me because I build up a tolerance for things quickly anyway. So the first time I took a half of one, and then like the second time I needed more. So it's like I'm not trying to be like that. So like I've always been very selective about what I do. Like I've known people that were like functioning crackheads that were like trying to convince me to try it, and I'm like, nah, because I'll be the one that I'm not gonna be like how you are. I'm gonna be strung out like Pookie or Wanda. And nah, I mean, there wasn't a Wanda back then, but I'm not, nah. So the thing about it though is when you are having a basically like a mental breakdown taking it, and then you get into an argument with your wife and just all this stuff, like that's how that came about. So it's not like this was just this ongoing thing with him. It's like because of everything that was going on. So me knowing that, because when he started taking it so heavily, I started researching it. That's how I know what it does, because I started doing research on, okay, what is he taking? Why? Because that's not what I thought ecstasy was supposed to, like, that's not what they show you on TV. So why is it different for him? And, and so me understanding all of that, again, that's why I was more forgiving than I would have been in any other circumstance. And so when he's saying I'm trying to go out of town to get myself together, because I'm just wanting to help you do whatever, like, so we can make it work, yeah, but also, like, we got kids together, and you have other kids, and I care about, like, I just love kids in general, but also, like, these are my step kids, you know what I'm saying? So, like, so I'm taking him, but yeah, the night before he told me, like, she said she was gonna do whatever to my car and whoop de woo, and then when I'm going to pick him up, I'm hearing her like, yeah, come get him. So that's what made me like take the gun with me, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm walking into. Now, common sense, I should have just not went. Like, now me, I'd have been like, oh no, hey, I'll send you some money for a lift or what, you know what I'm saying? But I just was in a different like state of mind. Like, I understand how when people are kind of like hopeless and you don't have anything to live for or look forward to, like, yeah, I had kids, but my life was just a mess. So, like, really, as I think about it now, I would have just not like, well, what she mean? Yeah, come on. Nah, I'm cool. But I went, you know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds like a setup, but yeah, so that's how that went. So him knowing that I said what I was gonna do, when she walks up to my car and slashes the back passenger tire, and the reason she did that is so he couldn't leave. And when she did that, she touched my car. And I had said, if she touches my car, I'm a shooter. That's what I had told him. So when she touched the car, what he says is, shooter, cuz, show her you ain't no punk. Hold on. That's not why I shot her. Why I shot her is because then she said, shoot me, I'm ready to go. And so then that's when I shot her. So
you shot her because she told you to shot her?
Mm-hmm.
And you like, fuck it, all right, let me offer?
I can't even say I wasn't like, it wasn't shoot to kill. That wasn't my intent. It was like, I wasn't even thinking like that. It's just, there was other stuff going on that literally had nothing to do with her. Like, so back to the stabbing, you know, when you live in public housing and you get stabbed in your house, apparently that is a safety concern to the community. So I was getting evicted. And then when you get stabbed and you call your job and say, hey, I got stabbed, can't come to work, I'm going to the ER, I'm in the ER, whatever. I have a doctor's note though, proof that, like, y'all know I got stabbed, but because I had too many points at that point, I lost my job. So I lost my job because I got stabbed. I'm getting evicted because I got stabbed. So like, I'm not gonna say like I had nothing to live for, but I had nothing to lose at that point. Like, I was at this nothing matters moment. Yeah. So like, there were a lot of factors that really, it wasn't even about her. I was just fed up with everything. And I say unfortunately, because again, this isn't something that I'm proud of, but I don't have any shame. So I could talk about it freely. And the reason why I am transparent about my life is because you look at me, or you listen to me, or you watch me, or even people that know me, that have known me maybe only for the last 10 years or the last 15 years. And you see this, so like, when I say I know God is real and I know God can really change somebody and whatever, that's why I share my life, because I'm only different because I started doing different. And it's never been about religion. I struggle. I don't even really like to use the, oh, I'm a Christian. I mean, I am technically, but I don't like that label. I always say I have a relationship with God because that's really what
Yes.
it's about.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All
I
that
agree.
extra and even like the stigma and some, just all that religion and judgment and whatever, like you forgot what God saved you from. Like, how could I judge anybody? Look at what I just shared. And that's not, man, yeah, I was a way different person back in the day. So like I share that though, but this is an area where I kind of hesitate, but it's public knowledge. So it's like the people that were involved, everybody knows this happened. Now, maybe the
Right.
world doesn't know, but I've actually talked about it on here before. So it's not like it's a secret, but I also never want anybody to feel like I'm out here like, hey, man, don't fuck with me because, nah, I'm not, that's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to argue with people for what. Like
Yeah.
I have stuff to do. I have stuff to lose. Um, you know. So yeah, that was life before.
Yeah, that was you. Listen. This onion got a bunch of layers. A bunch of layers I didn't know in there. This is crazy.
And that's just, man, we ain't even gonna talk about, yeah, like that's
Talk
little
about
by
what?
there's just, I mean, yeah, there's just a lot that I've done in life. Nothing else violent. I haven't like killed anybody or shot anybody else. That's literally the only time in life I've ever shot a gun. Period.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, like never anybody before that or after that. A lot of my past though, when you get abused, like sexually abused as a child, you know, you could be promiscuous and stuff like that. So it's like that's more of the bigger part of my past before healing and stuff like that. So that's a huge reason. What's very interesting is that what I realized recently is that sex always had so much shame associated with it because of what happened to me. I couldn't separate
Okay.
that from just, you know, being in like, yeah, there was just always shame associated with it. And it hasn't been until recently that I really just started processing through that to like find healing because like that's not how it's supposed to be. Furthermore, I didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a
Yeah.
kid. I didn't ask for that. But that also doesn't mean that I have to walk around the rest of my life like living like that. So
I'm
yeah.
sorry that happened to you. That's some bullshit.
It really is, and it's interesting because I'm a very forgiving person of like people who do stuff, but when it comes to like kids and stuff like that, I
Yeah,
realize,
no.
yeah, that's an area where I'm like when they were trying to say pedophilia is a sexual orientation, like nigga, what?
Yeah,
What?
that's out.
Like you're doing way too much with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Yeah, I just, yeah. So, you know, but then you live, you grow, you learn, you heal, and then
I'm glad
like
you're
I said,
healing.
huh?
I'm glad you're healing.
Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting because the pandemic, while for me, the pandemic has been actually kind of a blessing amidst the madness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I started working from home even before I, started just working for my company. And when I started working from home, I was able to be there more for my daughter. So that's how I was able to, I feel like, honestly, prepare her for adulthood and be able to propel her out there since, she wanted to move out at 18. But then also do a lot of soul searching and a lot of healing and journaling, and like I didn't go to therapy or anything like that. I would go to different like maybe small groups that we share whatever, but as far as like seeing a therapist, no, not that I'm against it. It's just that's not what I needed like in this season. What I needed to was to really like figure out what it is. And sometimes healing comes through crying, screaming, releasing the pain that way. I've had that. Sometimes healing comes from, you know what? I'm not that's not going to be a part of me anymore. Like I'm laying that down, and it looks different depending on what it is. And I've been through all types of different ways of healing. So like the season that I'm in right now is not a season where I need to go to therapy. I've also started adding recently like solo episodes where there's no visuals, and I don't even like I don't even say who I am. If you don't know who I am listening, then oh well. Like it's literally for me. Like because this is how the show started. I was in my closet. This was my outlet. So I had to like kind of get back to that. You know what I'm saying? And it's bonus episodes, so I drop those whenever. But it's like when I started adding like guests and I want to do this karaoke battle and I want to do like that's great. I'm leveling up. I'm growing as a creative. But what ended up happening is then I kind of got away from the main thing, and so I don't want to take away from doing these other things because I like doing them. So then it's like, okay, well, you can add extra episodes. Who says you gotta have visuals? Nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So then I call it Closet Chronicles because it's like taking it back to I used to be in my closet with the blanket up to absorb the sound. Talk about I'm in the studio, you know. Dropping my mixtape. You know. Yeah, so you got to figure out what you need and like for me my degree is in psychology. So you have to do a lot of like I have healing books and I have these things cuz I kept almost all my psychology books. So when you have a lot of knowledge, then it's like you have to just apply it. And for me therapy usually became I just talk to get stuff out, and then and so then after a while I would stop going because it's like I don't really need you to tell me to do anything. I kind of just need you to listen. But you're an expensive sounding board. So now
insurance didn't cover yet?
I mean, yeah, but they only covered like so many sessions or something like that. You know how they insurance is just so stupid sometimes. Like you just don't even, and then like it'd be so expensive, and then sometimes it don't even be good insurance depending on where you work and whatnot. But yeah, so for me, I'm just healing looks different. Healing sometimes is just recognize, even just admitting like, dang, that was messed up. Like, and not rationalizing why they did it. Who cares about why they did it? Like, how did it affect you? Own that, feel that, don't run away from that. And then, you could let it go or release it or whatever. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, now that 2.5 almost hours later of this, but see what I knew that I didn't really need a topic for Ivan. Like the people and I'm going to be doing a lot more of these episodes, y'all, where I'm just somebody that I know can carry a conversation. Because that's what it has to be. It has to be somebody. And this is crazy because this is literally the first conversation we've ever had besides karaoke, which really don't count. But we've had so much interaction back and forth on Twitter and even a little bit of texting to where I feel like I know you. And then because of how y'all show is structured, it's kind of like you see how people's personality is and whatever.
Yeah.
So like it's wild that this is like I didn't have no notes. I had some tweets because I'm like, ooh, we could talk about this. Forget the rest of my tweets because clearly we don't need them. You know what I'm saying? This last half was not supposed to be a part of it at all, but hey, you know,
That's the best content to me. That'd be the best time.
yep.
That'd be the most fun on the podcast to me when it's like, all right, we have these notes of how the conversation is supposed to go, and then we get so far into a different conversation that it turns. And so that's the most fun. Like, because at that point, it's no longer like I'm creating content. I'm just having a conversation. I'm just getting to know somebody. And so this time you like literally forget that I'm recording this.
And that's why I'll never get away from having guests, and that's why I'm kind of getting more into who do I just want to talk to? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, you could just call somebody, but I'm just not good at that. Like, for me, it's better to have a purpose. Like, let's do an episode, you know, which almost sounds like I'm trying to be on some, oh, let me have them on the show. No, I'm not saying it like that, y'all. I'm just saying, like, the people that I have on the show are people like, man, I know it's going to be a dope conversation just based on what I know about that person from whatever interaction we have. So that's kind of why I brought him on with, and he was just like, okay. And I love, man, shout out to all y'all who just for whatever reason trust my vision or trust that I'm not gonna, because you know how some people will, they may have you on and then try to ask you some weird questions or like start some like, oh, why'd so and so leave the group, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's how people are messy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On some, especially you see it with, like some of these interview style podcasts. Nobody I know in the community. I'm just thinking of like, and I don't even listen to the Breakfast Club, but like clips I'll see on Twitter where people, you could tell they feel, or even other interview shows. Dude from Power, Zeke, somebody was like trying to get him to admit his sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff
crazy.
like that. That was wild because you could tell he was uncomfortable as an interviewer. You should have just went on to something else. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know whose show that was. Never have listened to it, and based off that one clip, probably never would want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But I appreciate the fact that you came on because, I mean, this is literally the first conversation we've ever had.
Yeah.
But I know you knew I was going to talk about how you a celebrity, y'all. This is my first celebrity guest. Like, I'm so honored that you made time. I know you got, you know what I'm saying, everybody and their mama. And y'all, he's so, like, when I offered him a gift for doing the karaoke thing, he said no. Not like rudely at all. Like, it wasn't like that. But he was just like, you ain't got to do that. And I was just like, trying to make a little joke like, oh, you too good? Like, what? He's like, no, I'm just like, I have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know, really in the heartbeat.
Yeah, so it's like, I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who's like, come on, and y'all just, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I don't even really know what it is, but I just want you a part of it. And people be like, all right, bet. But on the flip side, that's podcasters. Because sometimes when I ask non-content creators to be a part of stuff, hey, y'all, I be getting like ghosted. Like people that I'm like, hey, you want to come on? Oh, yeah. And you ain't never seen none of them on because they just stopped responding or they didn't do what they said they would do. And I'm not gonna chase you down. Like, I want you to want to be a part of it. Like, I want you to want to bring whatever energy, and I don't want it to be I'm begging you. Heck no.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ivan, tell the people where to find you.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Young Al Bundy. That's YUNG_Al_Bundy. You can catch me on Views from the 7 podcast. We're streaming on all platforms. You can catch me on View 7 Network on YouTube, which is basically an extension of the podcast. But like I was mentioned earlier, we do different stuff. We do music reviews. We do all kinds of stuff. So you can catch me in any of those places.
And I will definitely have the link to all that in the episode notes. Also, the link to my social media. Y'all have to watch this episode. Like, if nothing else, you got to see just my point of view of what I've been looking at this whole episode. You got to see that, if nothing else. Follow me on social media. Get y'all some Melanin Intoxicate. All that good stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for